Alright, so what's up? It's the real DJ Red with two D's. Um, Doing a couple of videos real quick. First one is um, for a lot of the guys that out there that do rentals. I do rentals also. Not that much, but I do rentals. Um, Question: do you check your gear before you send it out or drop it off or anything? With me, I'm constantly checking my stuff every week. If I'm knowing that I'm doing let's say uplighting, for example, and it might be a wedding that I'm personally doing, I try to set all of my colors and everything. um, Being that I'm not doing most of my uplights by remote yet or wireless DMX yet, I try to set everything before leaving my warehouse. Try to preset everything, that way when I go I just plug up, set up, and that's it. Even with my speakers, I check all of my speakers on the regular to make sure all of my drivers are working, all of my woofers are working. um, with the ZLXs, being that they have DSPs on the back of them. I might have used one for a monitor last week, and this week I might be using it full range for a front of house system or whatever. I have to either reset the DSP or set it back to a setting of my preference. Same thing with the ETX subs. So the reason why I did this video was because I did a rental on some lights. I did 8 up lights. Guy came up, I dropped them off to him. He came back, dropped it off to me, and he said it wasn't, one of them wasn't working. So I'm going to check these lights real quick. um, I know I checked all of them and gave them extra IEC cables in case any of them went bad. He said he don't think it was the cable, it might have been the light. He didn't make a big deal out of it. He gets from me all the time. And I'm going to go ahead and check these lights real quick and make sure that all of them are working. Now these are my first set of up lights. They're small pars, maybe like a, I think they said it's like a 39 or something. I do have the American DJ uh, Mega Plus, and I plan on getting some more, but I still use these small ones. They're pretty good. They're decent. It was something that I was using for starter. Now I use them for rentals every now and then. If I have to do more uplights, then I add them with the American DJs. If I need more than that, I can get the rest of them from my brother. I haven't had a situation where I had to use more than 16 lights as of yet. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and check these lights real quick, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I got my light fixtures here. I just plugged up 2 of them. That's one. That's another one. I'm just going to plug them up and daisy chain all of them. That's 3 working. That's 4 working. Maybe it might be the outlet on the back of here. And mind you, they didn't, as far as I was told, I don't think they daisy chained them. Let's see something here. this one is. Oh, it wasn't. This is probably what he meant by they weren't on. I did set all of the lights prior to giving it to him, but I'm gonna continue plugging up the rest of them. So we got 5 going right now. And the reason why this one didn't come on was because these lights are a little bit older, so they have the pin switches in the back. If all of the pin switches are on off, you will not get anything. Um, this is a 10 pin switch light. 1, 2, and 3 is red. 4, 5, and 6 is green. 7 and 8 is blue. And then from there you can mix and match. If you want them to go auto, I believe you can put it on 9. Put the 9 switch down and they'll go by themselves on that one. And as you can see, I'm plugging up all of them. I don't know if the camera is picking it up too well or whatever, but they're all on blue right now. This one has green on it. Okay, I'll deal with that one later. Okay, that's 6 on right now. Seven. Eight. There you go. All 8 lights are working. However, I did find one of them, the pin switches were not down. Somebody could have touched them with a hand. They could have moved out of place while in transport or whatever. But yes, all 8 lights are working. Let me turn this one around here. All 8 lights are working. Like I said, I did check everything prior to putting them in my transport bag, which I probably might get a better bag to put them in. I've had this one for a while. I've had these lights for a while. Thought about getting rid of them. I mean, they still work for what they're worth. They're cheap lights. I got them from my brother. He bought them from some other place online or something a while back. The first time that I rented these from him, I made money with it. The second time I ended up buying them from him, not only did I make my money back from my cost that I bought it for, but I also made money from off of that rental as well. So ever since then, it's been nothing but profit from the first time that I bought these, and they work. I have no, well, there is a little bit of complaints with these here. They're you're kind of limited to the your colors when you're doing mixing and matching colors. If you're trying to do purple, amber, stuff like that, versus the American DJs, they have a lot of preset stuff that's already on it, so it makes it a little bit easier. If you do have to mix and match, you have an option on there to dim the lights from 0 to, I believe, either 100 or 250 or something like that. But you can blend your colors, you can match them a lot better. The DMX on there works fine, no problem. I've used the DMX on there before. Haven't had any issues with them. These here, I've never been able to figure out the DMX process on there. I don't think I'm even going to bother look them up. But other than that, like I said, they work fine. If I use up those 8 there, and I have to use these, and these here will be added into it. If I have to go more than that, then I can get the rest from my brother and go from there. But right now, these fixtures here are RGB. They're very, very cheap. Very, like I said, these were my first ones that I bought them from my brother. They were working out okay. Right now, I'm gonna continue using them. I don't have no issues with them. But my first ones are going to be the American DJ Megas, which is RGB UV. The UV do come in handy. Sometimes I've used them for all black parties and stuff like that, and use them, as a black light instead of going to go purchase those long ones. So they've worked out fine. But other than that, my main purpose for doing this video was to check all of these lights fixtures. So that one wasn't working. There's a possibility that the dim switches on there was not, or was moved. Could have been during transport, it could have been during setup or whatever, but I know for sure I checked all of these myself, and I set them on blue because the customer usually just get the lights from me as just a plug up and go. They don't have to worry about setting the lights or anything. I always set the lights for them, plug up, go, and that's it. But other than that, all of the lights were working. He had me worried, thinking that one of the lights were bad or something, but it wasn't the light. It was the little switch on the back. I looked, all of them were off. 7 and 8 needs to be on for the blue. And that particular one, it flashed when it came on, as you've seen, and I switched cords, plugged it up again. It flashed when it came on like it normally do, and it's supposed to go to the color. If none of the switches are on, it will not go to the color. It will stay black. So there you go. All of them are working. Found what the problem was. I'll let him know in the future, and go from there. And one more thing before I shut these off, I'm just going to go ahead. I just went and checked my calendar to see what was needed for this event on Saturday. I'm doing 16 uplights on that one, so I'm going to go ahead and set the American DJs also. Again, it cuts down on my setup time. The last few gigs I've been doing all of them by myself. I finally, my daughter is helping me out with it now, and I'm showing her how to do the lights. That'll be the first thing on there, and then go from there. But I'm going to go ahead and set the colors for them now. So once I get to the hotel banquet hall, just plug up, set them down in place, and keep it moving from there. So anyway, make sure you like, subscribe. The Real DJ Red. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat as well. You can look me up on there. The Real DJ Red with 2 Ds. And thanks.